Hey guys, Al here, Vitalized Seed. I hope everybody's having a good day. So why is there fire behind me? Well, I've been wanting to come up with a way to better explain microbes in the soil. And at a really high level, I felt like this was a good analogy. Hopefully you all will agree. So think of microbes and maintaining that balance is keeping a fire going. If we add too much wood, which is like carbon, we will smother the fire. If we don't have enough wood, the fire will simply burn out. There's not enough fuel to keep the fire going. Now, what it tends to get introduced then is this idea of microbial stimulation products. We at Vitalized Seed have a fish fertilizer. It's a great product. Acts as a foliar feed. You can use it as a residue management tool, spraying it on there. Well, why does that work? It stimulates microbial activity, right? It jumpstarts it. However, can you overdo it? Well, if the goal of the fire is to keep it burning at a steady rate and keep it from burning too quickly and or not burning quick enough, right? Keeping it at that steady rate, then we need to balance the inputs into that fire, being wood. Or let's say we wanted to stimulate the fire. Let's say it burned down a little bit too much. We added too much wood, so we're smothering it. How are we going to stimulate that? Well, most would say lighter fluid or gasoline. Be careful, obviously, with flammable objects. But again, this is just for an analogy for talking purposes. We would pour that on there, and what would we expect to happen? We would see a burst of fire happen, right? And the speed at which that wood would be then consumed would be increasing. It's very similar with microbes. So when we add a biological stimulation product or we till, right, that's going to stimulate bacteria and microbiology in the soil profile, more specifically, the bacterial side. So what's going to happen is they're going to be hungry, they're going to propagate, they're going to be consuming carbon sources. Really, really good if you have a lot of carbon. However, if you overdo it, overdoing tillage, overdoing biostimulants, etc., and you don't have that balance, what will happen? They're going to look for the next source, right? So that's your organic matter. That's your carbon. You can literally mine your carbon or organic matter out of your soil by overstimulating your biology. So we want to, that's why at Vitalized Seed we promote the 1-2 system, using biology to work for us, and it's all about that balance. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're continuing to have to use tillage for residue management, or you're adding biostimulants, those are great products, but just understand that there's balance to everything. Because if you add too much, that fire is going to burn really quick, it's going to burn really hot, you're going to burn out some of your organic matter, and if you don't have roots there to absorb or assimilate those nutrients as it's getting released, you're going to have a lot of that leach out of the system and be lost, and now you're back to square one and trying to recreate that system. So hopefully you found that analogy interesting. That's kind of how microbes work. Think of it as trying to maintain that fire at a good consistent temperature. We don't want it too hot, we don't want it too low, we want it just kind of in the middle, working towards more fungal domination, which is another video for another day. That'll help that fire to burn more consistently, longer, and steadier. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this information, check us out at vitalizedseed.com. And have a safe and wonderful weekend.